guys, I'm Tanner.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to our first ever YouTube video.
First one.
We are coming to you from California today.
In the Mojave Desert.
Woohoo!
It's warm.
We've been on the road for a year now. Yesterday, February 3rd of 2021 was our first year.
We're still alive.
Yeah, we survived. So I wanted to create this video and kind of talk about our biggest takeaways, our biggest lessons, if there's anything that we regret.
And importantly, at the end, we're going to talk about how much it cost to live on the road for a full year.
Yes.
It's cheaper than you think.
It is cheaper than you think. So let's get started. So our biggest takeaway that we learned was, and this is going to sound super cliche, is that the best things in life really are free.
They are. Before we left, our life was full of clutter of things that we bought,
Distractions, shopping.
Bicycles, 4 of them. We had 4 bikes.
Yeah.
And we got rid of 90% of our stuff. And it's such a liberating feeling to just let all that go.
Yep.
And we spend so much more time with each other, hiking, which is free, watching sunsets, which is free.
Campfire chats with strangers that we just meet.
Hearing their life stories and how they ended up where we are, wherever that is at the time.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
Awesome.
The relationship we've built with ourselves, with each other, and with the dogs, this never could have happened in our past life. So,
agreed.
For sure, the best things in life are free.
They're free.
Yep.
For number 2, definitely is up there, conserving water. So we exclusively boondock, which we'll get to what that means later and how we do it. But our RV holds 80 gallons of fresh water, 40 gallons of gray water, which is your shower water, your dish water, that sort of thing, and 40 gallons of black water, which is basically just your toilet. And making that last for as long as possible has really been something we've had to adjust to.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Like think about whenever you brush your teeth, you typically always just leave the water on. Whenever you wash dishes, you keep the water on, and you're scrubbing, and you're like,
when you take a shower, you just leave the water on, right?
So that has been one of our biggest adjustments, is having to figure out how to conserve the water. We stay in one place for 2 full weeks at a time, so it's a pain in the ass to get everything ready to go and get water. So you really learn how to conserve water.
Because you want to avoid doing that.
Yeah. So we're really hoping, like, it's been a challenging lesson, but also a really cool one. It's made us more connected with ourselves and with nature, and
kind of more aware of your carbon footprint.
Yeah, and you kind of like, you're connected with your water source, like where you're getting it. It's not just like, oh, I turned the sink on and you have this endless amount of water supply. You don't even know where it comes from. Like, we have to work to get our water. So our water is like something really special to us. We have a really good water filter. We're about to get a Berkey because different states, different places have really not great water, but we're working on that, so that's another challenge. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind to figure out how to conserve our water. But
good lesson though.
Yeah, definitely something that I really hope whenever we like find our new house or find wherever we're gonna stay, that we take this lesson into that lifestyle as well.
Definitely.
So our third takeaway was traveling with dogs was a lot easier than we thought that it was going to be. We've got asked this a few times, like, how do you guys travel with your dogs? What issues have you come across? And honestly, we haven't come across any issues at all. They're not allowed in a lot of national parks.
A lot of them, you can't take your dogs on hikes, so which means they have to stay in the RV while you're gone. Which is
why we did solar.
Right.
That was the main reason.
Because we didn't want a generator running out of fuel while we're gone and the air conditioner turn off. So we know that solar is always going to be giving us power to run the AC if it's really hot. And we have cameras that we can log into and check on things while we're gone, so we can check up on them that way.
And we talk to them.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun. But I think having them on this experience with us has made it that much more life-changing for both of us, and letting like them experiencing the world just like we are,
Yeah.
has been really, really super cool.
And it's good because sometimes, you know, you would think being at all these awesome places that you're always outside, you're always going for walks, but sometimes you kind of just want to lounge around. But then you're like, you know what, let's take the dogs outside, and they help
yeah.
keep you active.
Yeah.
So definitely bring your pets.
Yep. Takeaway number 4 is our budget. Yes, he is the budget man. He created the budget.
I like numbers.
Yeah,
so
he's the number guy. We really created a realistic budget, and realistic is the word that I want to kind of get across. We were real with ourselves.
Yes, because I watched a lot of other van lifers and full-time RVers before we left to figure out how much do we want to spend monthly, or how much does it cost even to just do what we do. And some people, they spend $3,000. Other people make it work for $1,200. Some people, we watched a video where somebody set a budget for $1,500 because they wanted, you know, to be able to do it for a long time. And their first month out, they spent $3,500. So
oops.
Yeah.
So we kind of, you know, we made a list of the things that we knew we definitely wanted. For us, that's like, you know, a higher grocery bill because we like to eat fresh organic foods, and that's going to make our monthly bill go up.
Yeah.
We definitely wanted the National Park Pass, which allows us to get into the national parks for free after
Great
we
deal,
pay.
by the way.
It is a great deal. And you get to hike for free, and we do a lot of hiking. So those are some of the things that were important for us. Our eating out budget isn't as big because we really enjoy eating at home. What else do we do? We don't do like wineries, breweries, like...
Yeah, we're not going to pay $80 to zip line or something like that.
Yeah, like we're not into the adventure part. Our budget doesn't allow for that.
Yeah. But
we're okay with that. And so that was something that was really important for us whenever we started going through this journey, was stick with a budget that you know you're going to stick to and you don't feel restricted.
Yeah, be honest with yourself.
Yes, be honest with yourself, because if you feel restricted in this lifestyle, you're going to hate it. You're going to not even want to stick with it because you just are so pissed off because you can't go do this or go do that and yada, yada, yada. And just be honest with yourself when you come up with a budget. I'm just so glad that we were, because that helped us stick with it, and we've survived.
And it's been sustainable. Our average has been plus or minus a couple $100 every month.
Without really trying to.
Yeah. So lesson number 5 is there are many different ways to create an awesome, fulfilling life. Yep. So for us, we lived in a big city, you know, in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which is one of the largest cities in the country. And there everybody has the vision of, you get the bigger house, the nicer car, the things, you go up the corporate ladder to get the better paying job.
Yeah, the rat race.
That's just kind of how you...
That's the mentality. That's the social structure of how it's set up.
Right, but then we go to all these amazing small towns and we wonder to ourselves, how do people make this work? And they do.
Yeah.
They've created a life for themselves that's fulfilling. Maybe they don't have the latest and greatest fancy car or whatever, but they have Glacier National Park as their backyard, and you know, they can go and visit some of the most epic places anytime they want. And there's farmers markets nearby with people that you know that are growing the food that you eat.
It's a lot slower pace of a lifestyle, but it really, the further along we get into this journey, the more we appreciate that kind of lifestyle. You know, like he said, when we first started and we walked in, or we would drive through these neighborhoods, I would be like, how do people do this? Like, they don't even have a grocery store. And I don't know if I want to go that far as like I could do.
Our minimum is usually a Walmart.
Yeah, like we definitely need a Walmart or something, but it's just really cool to see that these people are happy with absolutely, I don't want to say nothing, but from our standpoint, from where we came from, nothing. Like without the big fancy Whole Foods and like all the stuff that you think of identifies you as a person, they live without that and they are extremely happy. So that was really cool. All right, tip number 6 is community in this lifestyle is mega really important. Like, we had no clue how important it was until we went to our RV truck rally like last month. in January. This lifestyle can be really isolating.
As you see, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Like, we do actually have 2 RVs that we can see within distance, but that's not typical. Sometimes we are the only people in
For
the
days.
entire place, and we don't see anybody. So sometimes I am like, babe, let's go to a busier campground or a busier BLM area, because I want to at least be around people, even if we don't talk to them. That just like having somebody around just gives you a sense of like, not security, but just like, I don't know, it makes me feel happy, even if we don't talk. So,
makes you feel less isolated.
yeah.
Some of the places, while they are beautiful, you are out there.
You are out there. You're an hour away from civilization, like anything. And so it's very isolating. We're very lucky that we have each other. We come across a lot of people that are solo and doing this.
That'd be really tough.
And we just, I don't know how they do it, but like props to them. So that's one of our biggest goals for this year, is to really keep putting ourselves out there, find people that are like-minded, that are living this lifestyle, that understand where we're coming from, because the people that we have met that get this lifestyle, it's meant a lot to us.
Yeah, it's been really awesome.
Yeah. So community, definitely top contender.
There's lots of them out there. A lot of Facebook groups, email lists, Instagram, just reach out to people, and don't be afraid to talk to somebody that you're camped nearby.
Yeah.
We've heard some really crazy stories from some really interesting people that we've come across, and some of that stuff you'll remember for the rest of your life. So don't be too afraid to say hi.
So lesson number 7 is not stockpiling things that you come across that are super cheap. So whenever we are out on the road,
It's harder than you think.
Yeah, we'll come across different, liquid aminos, matcha tea, raw honey, all these things that are really good price because you're out in the middle of nowhere. And sometimes we've gone weeks or even months without coming across something that cheap again.
Yeah.
So you immediately want to just like, oh my God, I don't know when the next time I'm going to be by a Trader Joe's is. So I want to buy 30 of their spices, or
Guilty.
This person's celery is like 50 cents and it's organic. Let's buy 20 celeries. Well, we don't have the space, but we're so thrifty that sometimes that
Can't help it.
Like works against us. But we figured out a trick. We fill our fridge up as much as possible, and he's really good at what's that game that you play? Tetris.
Born and raised, baby.
Yeah. So he does the fridge, he Tetrises it out, and then we use our Yeti, and we'll stockpile. Like we had like 20 celeries in there.
It's a good way to kind of extend your fridge.
Yeah. All right, guys. Number 8 is cooking with the weather. When you're boondocking, when you are living off of solar, you have to learn how to cook based off of the sun, pretty much. The sun to me now, instead of like just being vitamin D and like let me get a suntan, means I can bake, I can use my Instant Pot, I can use my air fryer, like I can use all my appliances whenever it's sunny and we're charging our batteries.
Took a little bit of time to adjust to that. We kind of butt heads a little bit because I'm watching our energy usage, and
I'm just like, oh, it's sunny, I can use my air fryer. Oh babe, what do you want? Let me bake,
for hours.
And he just like sees the little ticker of our energy going down, and it doesn't go back up as quick as I use it. So that's been a huge thing that I've had to learn. Baking is super fun for me, but the biggest time I want to bake is on rainy days. So, but we're not getting any power, so I can't use, the convection oven for 2 hours to bake something whenever it's raining. So that was a huge adjustment. We are slowly and surely, like now we just kind of
got a routine.
Yeah, we figure it out. We know because we also use our Keurig. But these are things that I never even thought twice about before we left. How often or how much power your
in addition to
microwave uses.
Knowing how much water you use on a daily basis, you really get an idea of how much energy you use, because you have to monitor it.
Yeah. Otherwise you'll run out of it, and we've done that before.
Yep, it's happened.
A little beep goes off and it freaks the dogs out, and we wake up and we're like, shit, we don't have any power.
So lesson number 9 is boondocking can really extend your ability to live this lifestyle because it reduces your cost. You don't have to pay for an RV park, stay at a state park, a national park. You can stay for free on public land, whether it's federal or state forest land. And we've done that for 366 days now.
Yep, because yesterday was a year.
And we've spent $0 to stay anywhere for a full year, and that has saved us a lot of money.
We were nicknamed as the thrifty travelers, and that is we are definitely living up to that name. So
we didn't start out with that being the plan, but we made it to 6 months or so without spending any money, and it kind of just turned into a goal.
But as great as boondocking is also really challenging.
Yes.
We're staying off primitive roads. You know, it's all the dirt roads. There's
very washboarded. Some of them have huge potholes.
So whenever you pull up to an RV park, you have like this nice little spot. It may not be level, but like you just pull right up and it's great. You know you're gonna have Wi-Fi. It's perfect. When we pull up to a spot, we have to unhook the car. We have to drive around, see which spot has the best internet.
Check the cell service, yeah.
And then figure out like where Patrick can even get to. I mean, it's kind of one of those, like, it's a lot more challenging than you think. And I have this like funny little saying, boondocking, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, would be you always have dirty feet, you're always looking for trash cans, and you never have enough water.
Yep. And
I think that sums it up completely. Like, my feet are always dirty, and I never in my life thought that I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
And looking for trash cans, like, we have to dispose of our own trash, and that's something that we were kind of spoiled to.
It's harder than you think.
Yeah, it really is. Like, when you go to Walmart now, we're like, ooh, they have a trash can. Ooh, like anywhere we drive to, we're like, oh, there's a trash can in the back.
And then you kind of like keep it in your mind, so that whenever we're leaving later, you swing by and get rid of your trash.
Yeah. So boondocking is really great, but it also has its disadvantages. You just have to it fits in our budget, so it works for us.
You get to stay in some really awesome places that
the scenery is epic.
Other people might never get to see because they didn't venture out.
Yeah, they stayed in an RV park. So yeah, boondocking for us was the way to go.
Definitely. Now, something you guys might be waiting for, and it was something that I searched high and low on YouTube for. How much does this cost for 1 year?
Like the real numbers, not like buffered numbers.
Yeah,
like the real.
I tracked every expense,
legit,
every place.
Everything.
We spent $25,981 for a full year on the road. 14 states, 21 national parks, 10,000 miles. So that costs just over $2,100 a month on average.
Yep.
And
that's cheaper than my car that I owned in my last lifestyle. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's really not as much. That's right on target. Definitely in our budget, we knew exactly, like, that was what we were intending on spending anyways. And that includes everything from maintenance to laundry to food to gas
to our internet hotspot we always have
our
here,
phones, groceries. I mean, everything. Like, that is literally every single thing that we spent was $25,981. We were happy with that number. So
agreed.
Yeah, you can do this lifestyle
if you design it right, have a plan.
Yeah.
Stick to your plan.
Stick to your budget. That's why it was so important for us to have that realistic budget.
Yes.
I knew that in this lifestyle, I didn't want to feel like I was being restricted. So stick to your budget, come up with that number, and you'll be fine.
You could do it. And lastly, have any regrets?
I think the only regrets I have are, they always suggest to live in your RV first before you do any major renovations, and we didn't do that. We were so anxious to leave Dallas that
we just gutted the whole thing.
Yeah, we did all the renovations. We took one trip prior to renovating, and we got rid of the couch. We got rid of some chairs that were on the other side of the couch, and I wish we would have kept those pieces,
because it's really hard to find furniture that fits in an RV.
Yeah, like that actually is made to fit into the RV.
Yeah.
So that's really my only main regret. What about you?
No regrets leaving. It's been an absolutely amazing adventure, and we come across so many people on the road that see us doing this, and they're excited because, you know, we're young people, and they're glad to see people doing this while they're still young. They're not waiting for retirement or make it a someday. You know,
Yeah.
we did it now.
We're following our dreams now.
Yeah.
And that makes us feel better. And whenever we're at the top of the hill and we're climbing up there, and like there's really old people that are like struggling, and they like look at us and we're like, yep, we're doing this younger. Like, thank gosh.
Yeah, because some of our hikes, whenever we lose cell service and we get lost, like we did in the Redwoods in California, it ended up being 17 miles.
Yeah, no joke.
Whoops.
That was a bad day, but it was fun.
So yeah, no regrets.
No regrets. So in conclusion, we spent $25,981. We have 0 regrets about leaving.
Yep, some good life lessons.
Yeah, we are super grateful that we took the plunge. We're even more grateful that we didn't work the first year, and we just really
decompress, let go of life the way it was before, and just really enjoy this time without being tethered to, you know,
anything.
Yeah,
like literally anything.
We would forget what day it was, and
it was great.
Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave any comments if you have any questions for us. We're willing to share more of our story. We're going to be posting more videos about our travels, what we plan on doing this year, how we actually boondocked for 365 days without so that means that we spent 0 money. We'll kind of give our top 10, 15 tips. We've got all kinds of stuff that we're thinking about. So yeah, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.